All right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, I guess, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Bo Beats and this music review slash feedback stream. If you want to participate, be sure to check the description. There's links down there on how to participate. If you're watching this after it aired live, you can also read up on when the next stream will be. So this is a little music feedback stream. We listen to your music. We talk about mixing, song structure, mastering, whatever comes to mind. And basically I try to answer your questions. So today we are going for, I guess, an hour and a half. Got a couple of great submissions. So let's run that little intro. Yes, so let's see who is here in the chat room. And oh, I need to pull out the chat as well here. Let's see here. New chat window. Let's see. So I can see what you guys are saying. So say George is here, Tony is here, DJ Freeze here, Alex is here, John Whittaker is here. Good morning and good day, everybody. Don't forget to hit the little thumbs up button. There was somebody who already thumbs down it before it even went live. Damn, I got somebody who loves me out there. So welcome here. I got my, and today it's kind of a combined music review stream and coffee stream. I got my little Christmassy, it's almost a Christmassy cup with some hot, I was about to say hot chocolate, but it's coffee. It's coffee, guys. Richard Laux, Lost Jeff, Ukulele is here as well. Good seeing you all. Jersey Boy Beats, is that how you say it? Good seeing you as well. And what I will do, guys, if somebody's wondering, what I will do is I'll probably post the link to this review stream. I'll post it over on Facebook. So if you check the description, there's a link to my Facebook. Go there, like the page, follow. Because I don't always publish all the music review streams on the main channel, simply because it's not really content that like a large portion of my subscribers actually watch. So I tend to keep it, live and direct for everybody who's here, and then I'll post it to Facebook, I'll post it to Twitter, so the link to the VOD if you want to see this after the fact. So, oh, and my girlfriend just came with some cookie, some gingerbread. I think it's called gingerbread. I'm not sure. Ginger, or is that the other one? And a little cupcake. So let's see here. Matthew, good seeing you here as well. Firing up the coffee machine. Good seeing you all. DJ Free says possibly drunk, that thumbs down guy. Yeah, exactly, Lost. The thumbs up is really important. I know in the synth community people are, I don't know if it's just not knowing too much about it, or if it's some kind of thing you don't want to click on it, but it's quite important because it does help spreading the content and getting content across because of the way the algorithms work. Ginger Snaps. All right, Ginger Snap, never heard that before. So guys, today we are going to start out with a song that I didn't really have that much to say about, other than that I really like it. But I wanted to play it. So this is Sebastian's track, and I really just wanted to play it because I thought it was such a cool track. So here we go, and I'm going to link it, of course, in the definitely. I'm going to link it. So let's see here. This was Illusion with Lazy Pixel. Also, I know the guy, I think he's named Sebastian, and I think you guys should check out his YouTube. I linked it in the chat, and you can go and subscribe. He got some really, really nice tracks in this kind of ambient chill out genre. So we're hearing it in the background, and let me just see. Oh, yeah, the mic is not muted. Oh, and shout out to all the people in the States, like Tony, who's it's like 6 in the morning or something. Tony, that's hardcore. Getting up for this, that's hardcore. Yeah, about Sebastian's track, I just wanted to say that I really loved the intro, the vocals, the pads, and just the overall harmonies. I thought was really, really nice. It's kind of a style that I really enjoy listening to. So one thing I thought, just to give you one pointer, Sebastian, was that I thought the drums was maybe a little bit too muffled. I thought they could have, come across a little bit better, especially when I listened. So I listened on the big system, and I listened on my. I usually listen on. Wait, what's happening? Is something happening here? Yeah, let's turn it off. Basically, I often listen on my big system as well as on like a smartphone or something, just to hear how it translates. And I did feel like the drums, because of the huge pads, the atmospheric sounds, I felt like the drums could have been a little bit more punchier. Maybe you could have cut some bass on the pads or some of the sounds just to bring the drums a little bit more to the front. But maybe that's just a preference thing. So yeah. And I guess also how you mix it depends largely on kind of what purpose you're using the track, that kind of track. Vikramjit Banerjee, I'm probably butchering that name for sure. Vikramit says it's 6 in the evening here in India. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So let's see here. Subhuman, good seeing you as well. So who is up next here in my little list? Let's see here. I'm just going to. I'm trying to keep it orderly. So I'm going to take one of the subscribers over on Patreon. Patreon is a place where you can support by monthly donation, and of course you gain a bit of priority on the streams. So my man Gus sent me this song, and he was wondering how's the mix. Should I pay to have it mastered? And yeah, overall song structure and space in the track. And I did have a couple of pointers for him, and I hope I can translate, because of course these streams is a lot about me using kind of my ears, my artistic understanding, and trying to give a couple of pointers. And sometimes I will hit it, hit them. I say something of value, and sometimes maybe it's just very subjective. But yeah, so let's listen to this track. I think it's a private track, so I don't share the private tracks. But this is by User Friendly, and his track Wheels, Work in Progress, uploaded for Bowbeats Review. So let's have a listen. So this was user-friendly with his track Wheels. It's a private track, work in progress, so I'm not sharing it in the stream at the moment. But I had a couple of things that I thought about when I listened to it. So first off, I think it's Gus who submitted this. I'm really digging the intro. If I just go back here, I thought his intro was really cool, like this kind of walking, almost walking bass type thing here. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. I could also see vocals on this track. Da, na, na. Yeah, and I love the kind of drums and fills. I thought it was really cool, like lovely fills all the way through. That's something I really enjoy hearing and seeing. I'm not really good at it myself, but I guess it's really important to have that, to keep it interesting, to keep the listener interested in this type of music. And I love those kind of breakdowns where you kind of pitch shifted stuff. That was really cool. So at 1 minute mark, where the kind of chorus kicks in, I would have loved a kick. Not a kick. It kicks in, but I would love a crash. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. I think it should be here, like that. Just something to... That's something I would have loved on this track for sure. Let me just see here. This is very cool. I really dig it. And yeah, what else did I say? I wrote down a couple of ideas here. So what I thought, and I'm not sure guys what you think in the chat room, this is not a style of music that I'm very familiar with making, but I would have loved like a more clear melodic line over the ARP. If you can hear, there's the dun, dun, this kind of stabby synth stuff, and then there's the ARP, melodic ARP, and I would have loved kind of either using the electric piano or synth lead as kind of a lead above that. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. I think this could be interesting. So here's the breakdown, well, or the transitions to the kind of chorus. Yeah, something like that, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, something, on top of that. I had kind of a melody in my head before. I can't really remember it at the moment, but just something on top of it, because you're kind of relying very heavily on the ARP to translate to a melody, and I'm not sure. I wonder if you could perhaps emphasize that somehow. So that's just a thought of mine. Yeah, so let's see here. Lost Jeff Euclid says, oh shit, 90s AF. Yeah, definitely. Tony thinks it sounds good. Yeah, you guys seem to like it. The bassline's cool. Oh yeah, Dead Pixel. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you so much for the donation, Dead. I wasn't sure how to. So thank you so much for the donation, Dead Pixel. That's very, very helpful. And I wasn't quite sure how to respond to you over on PayPal, or how to send you a message. So a hardware synth for an absolute beginner, I would recommend either the Monologue or the Minilogue, because those synths are very, very hands-on. They're easy to get into. They're beginner friendly in the sense that you can easily understand how things interact without any menu diving, without having to set stuff up. I think something like a Mininova, a Microkorg, they are very good, for having good presets. But in order to tweak and create your own sounds, I think the Monologue, if you're okay with just bass and lead type sounds, or the Minilogue if you want to make like pads and such, is really interesting for a hardware synth, and they also complement like a computer setup a lot. So I hope that answers the question that Pixel. Otherwise, feel free to send me a message over on Twitter or Facebook or here on YouTube again, and I'll try and answer in more detail. But I think those two synths are really interesting for beginners. And good seeing you here, by the way. So we talked. Let's see here. What are you guys talking about here? Let's see here. Yeah, so we were talking about the song here, the user-friendly wheels, and I just to get back to it. Sorry for getting sidetracked, but it's all good. I just thought it was a really cool track. I would have loved more melody on top, because when you're relying so heavily on the arpeggio, you might want to emphasize the melody somehow with the electric piano or the synth lead or something. I thought that could be really cool, and I could hear like you could make such a beautiful melody that hooks the listener even more. And I'm not sure if you're just going to bring it in exactly when the chorus hits, or if it's something that comes later, but it would be an interesting progression of your track for sure. So let's see here, who is up next? We are going to listen to Tony. Tony's track. Let me just find it. Let's see here. Here is Tony's track. And I guess it's okay to share it. It's not a private track. So this is Tony Duncan's track, Determined. And he goes under the name The False Flag Document. And this was also a really cool track. And I got some pointers for you, Tony, as well as usual. So this is a track by Tony Duncan called Determined, and I thought, Tony, I think this is by far my favorite track of yours. I really enjoyed this one, and when I listen to it on my like bigger rig and in these headphones and in other pair of headphones, the kick sounded good, but when I played it on my smartphone and my laptop, from the laptop speakers, there was something that made the kick, well, it didn't sit right on those systems, and I'm not sure if it's probably just a drawback on the cheaper computer speakers, but maybe it's something you can just try and A/B listen and see if it's something that I'm not sure if it's something I noticed or if it's just a drawback by the a problem with having those cheap speakers. So that was something I just noticed. So I had kind of an interesting idea here, Tony, that I wanted to tell you about, because I thought the progression of the track was really cool. Really digging the melodies, really digging the progression. What I would start working on a little bit more was the drums, because you do kind of longer tracks and you do kind of these, heavy hitting. It's a little bit, even, I'm not sure if I used the right word here, even like a little bit industrial, in the sense like it's kind of harsh drum sounds. And what I would do is tone them down sometimes, because they feel kind of in your face, like pretty much all the time. They're very, very present. So maybe try just using like a low pass filter just to cut the highs on it, like on certain, like to make, or mute maybe the kick, to make like a little transition or something, just to change up the tension and variation of the drums somehow. That was something I thought about, that maybe, because I know you like those kind of pumping big drums, heavy hitting drums, and I really dig them, but just something to, and maybe add more fills. You do kind of a tom thing in this one, but you kind of add, what you do is you tend to add stuff, because I've listened to a lot of Tony's music and I think it's really interesting. You do some original stuff to my ears, but what you do is, and I do this too myself, so it's kind of a lesson for myself as well, you kind of add on top of it. You kind of, instead of taking away, you add stuff. So when the toms come in, boom, 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 something like that, you could perhaps try and mute some other stuff in order to create what I call a difference in tension. I'm not sure if that's a good way to present the idea, but that's kind of how I see it. Now, another thing, Tony, that I thought about is that in many of your tracks, the progression is really cool, but the intros are often not 100% on point. The way you kind of introduce different themes. So here's an idea for this track, and I'm not sure if you want to go back and change this, but this is more like an assignment or something you could try out. So in this track, I think you go like a synth sound, let's see here, bass and drums, and then you introduce a synth sound that goes over to like a main part. Now what I would have loved in this song was if you introduced the synths without the drums and then added the drums at, let's see here, at the 43, I said 43 minutes, but 43 seconds, I've written down these points. At the 43 seconds mark here, Tony, let's see if I can find it. So for example, here you have the kick in the beginning here. And it keeps going. We have the synths. And then we bring in the bigger drums. But we still don't really have the kind of... Here comes the bass. And here comes a bit of synth sound as well. There, where the... Bum, da da dum, that kind of synth comes in. I would have loved it to be, the emphasis on the drums would have come in at that point. So basically, kind of adding the synths and bass, kind of maybe even having like the synth bass and a little arp at the start, and then adding the second layer of synths, and then coming in with the bum, ba ba bum, and the drums. Boom, 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 something like that. It's just an idea. I'm not sure if it's better or worse. It's just a creative idea that I wanted to give you, Tony, because I really thought that the kind of intro thing here was very cool. So I hope you like that idea, and maybe if you can't use it for this song, maybe it's something you could use for another song. So let's see here, guys. Let me see what you guys are saying. You guys seem to think it's a cool song. That's very nice. Yeah, Richard, Pet Shop Boys. Yeah, I kind of got that kind of vibe as well. Adrian Steele, good seeing you. Micro, good seeing you. Micro Banshee, also a good YouTuber. Got a channel with some really cool doll-less tracks. And let's see here. Discophone is here as well. We often play his music here on the review stream as well. Lost Jeff Ukulele says, with big drums like that, the key for a drummer would be accents. Adding another rhythm with the accents. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So accenting the beat more would also make a lot of sense. Definitely. I'm really not a good drummer or drum programmer, but Lost Jeff got me covered. So Tony, I thought it was a really cool track. This is my favorite by far of the tracks you've made. I think the progression is nice, the melody is nice. It's just the way you kind of introduce the themes in the beginning. That's something you could focus on, maybe. But I thought it was good. I thought the mix was overall very pleasant to my ears as well. The volume is a bit low, but of course you can pump that up a bit if you want to later on. So let's see here. George submitted a track. George is another Patreon from patreon.com/bowbeats, and he submitted his track Demo Minimal Session 1 by George. And this is not privated either, so I can share it with you guys. So let's listen to it. So this was George's track or Sfera Music. He's in the chat. I'll post it again here. I thought it was really cool, George. I really enjoyed the kind of the electric piano kind of on top of this more trancey type beats, the 4 on the floor beat plus the electric piano. Now, one thing, and we've talked about this, about timings, and I love that some of the stuff you added, like with electric piano, wasn't like super precisely timed. But I would say that when you, like the first couple of notes when you introduced electric piano, those were a bit too off to my taste. Just putting it out there, that I kind of reacted to it. But then I know, you know, it's not perfectly timed, and I kind of enjoyed that. So just see if I can show you. Let's see. Yeah. So here in the beginning, I thought the timing was a little off, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. The first note is okay. I mean, it's. I don't know. Something with the way that kind of, you know, made me. But maybe it's a good thing. I'm not sure. You know, we've had this discussion before if it's super important or not. I'm not a big fan of super quantizing stuff. But those first few notes, like was kind of, yeah. Was something I reacted to, just putting it out there. But otherwise, I thought it was really cool. I thought it sounded really good, and as most of the viewers might have read already in the chat, that this is live recorded with George. He got a DAWless kind of rig, and I thought it was really cool as well. Yeah, I know it's not timed. I know, George. I mean, I think it's very cool. Hans Volt, good seeing you as well, Hans. Good seeing Adrian. Good seeing you, Orbix Music. Dave Chippy, good seeing you as well. Yeah, exactly, Dave. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting whether or not it's something, it's something. You know, timings are difficult, I think. In some ways, it's good to catch it, and I really enjoyed the way that George had the electric piano felt really live on top of the beat, and that was kind of made me interested in the song. The way you kind of was sitting there like, okay, so what's coming next? I thought that was kind of cool. I dug that. I dug that for sure. For sure. Studio Geek, good seeing you. Predrag, good seeing you. Predrag, you were late with the submissions, but we'll play Predrag's track. He always got something good up his sleeve. So next up is DJ Ape. Now I haven't had the time to listen to this before the stream, so I didn't really have any, you know, haven't really thought much about it, but let's listen to it. Is this yeah, this is not privated, so let's see here. And if I didn't say hello to somebody, hello and welcome to this review stream. If you want to submit something, you can always do it. Check the description. I'm not sure if I can get to all submissions today, but if you want to participate in the next review stream, that will be in 2 weeks. Just be sure to follow me on Facebook, because that's where I usually post in advance, or become a Patreon over on patreon.com/bowbeats. That's also a good way. So this is a track here by DJ Ape. Let's see here, some drum and bass, some good drum and bass stuff coming up, I think. Let's see here. So this was DJ Ape with, or rather Cessin and DJ Ape with the track Void. I thought this was interesting. This was interesting. So on the one hand, Predrag or DJ Ape, on the one hand, you know, it got me moving. I felt like, damn, this had a lot of tension. But it's not a type of drum and bass that I usually listen to, so it's kind of hard for me to judge. I saw somebody, I think it was Kreshad in the chat, say like something with melodic elements, and yeah, this kind of main part that you have, I did feel like you could maybe have added something to keep the attention of the listener a bit in terms of melodic sounds. I'm not exactly sure how though. Maybe just because you have these kind of elements, these sounds, and the bass, wow, these kind of sounds. Maybe you could just emphasize those a little bit more, or just put, you know, some kind of some kind of stab sound or something. But maybe it's not the type of. I have a feeling that you're aiming for a type of drum and bass, a much more like how do you say, more like progressive? Would that be the word? Much more. Yeah, because this track, you know, made me think more about kind of techno, kind of really like really niche club music, like how do you say, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., just going crazy, just monotonous club music, where you just want this really heavy, you want it to hit your body, and you're overly concerned about melodics, and the progression has more to do with capturing the energy and making people dance. So I was sitting here like, yeah, I could get up and like move to this for some reason. So I think you kind of hit home with this. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't really have anything more clever to say about it. I thought it was really cool, different but cool. Yeah, it's like neuro. Yeah. Exactly, yeah, like neurofunk, yeah. I'm not really well versed in the drum and bass neurofunk lingo, guys, but yeah, I thought it was really cool, definitely. Studio Geek, maybe I'll play your new song, maybe. But yeah, it's like high energy stuff, DJ. And I think if that's what you're going for, like high energy, late night club music, really, you know, get people that are already kind of pumped up, you know, just get them crazy going. I felt that this could work. So yeah, I could see myself going crazy to a beat like this. Not like too early in the evening, but like after 2 o'clock in the night, I could see myself dance to this for sure. Definitely. Yeah, it's hard as fuck. Just like Lost Jeff says, it was truly hard. Damn, I was like, sitting here. Yeah, I have to save this somehow and listen to it more. Maybe play it when I'm home at a very high, you know, strong volume, like high volume, definitely. So let's see here. So hope you enjoyed the comments, Predrag. Don't have anything more clever to say. I think if you want to, you know already that it's not the kind of melodic music. I think it's definitely more niche and definitely more club oriented. It's maybe not something that people would, you know, it's not radio music in the sense that people will play like on live radio in the middle of the day. Maybe that's maybe it's a tad too hard for that, but it's, yeah, I enjoyed it. So let's see here. Oh, so we had a new contributor, Joel. Joel's not a patron, but he contributed a song that I wanted to play, and he was basically asking for some advice when it came to the song, and I thought I would try and this is kind of work in progress, guys. But so if you want to, feel free to listen to this and type down what you're thinking. I think Joel can appreciate the feedback. So let's listen here and see what's up. And this is also a private track, so I'm not sharing this one. So this was a track by Joel, and it's work in progress. And I see you guys have some comments there as well about this. So let's see here. What did I think about this? So I think you have a good fundament going here. You have some interesting sounds, kind of an interesting vibe to the track, but I also thought that there were a couple of things that I was kind of missing. So let's see if I can break it down. And I think some of the guys in the chat has already kind of put it. So let's start from the beginning. When the track starts, I feel like it's like when I talked about Tony's track. And this is, of course, just my subjective opinion on how to start a track. But I would go for drums, bass, then the riff. And not start with drums and riff. Because it feels a little bit empty in the start. You're relying so heavily on the bass being delivered by the drums. So the drums and riff. I would rather start with the bass and riff. So that's the first thing I thought about. Starting with... So let's go back to the track and listen to it again, just to give you guys an idea. And you can, you know, Joel, you can just take these ideas for what it is, see if it's something that, you know, it resonates with you. So you have the drums here, starting out. And you have the snare coming in, and you know what? I would wait with the snare. I would start with the kick, the bass, maybe add the snare, build up the drums that way instead. And you have a little bit of a wooden rim shot type sound, maybe. Whatever it's called in English. You build up the drums this way. And then you come with the dun dun dun. Now, either add the bass before or just add the bass at the same time with the kind of riff. That's what I would say makes a lot of sense to my ears, definitely. Because the bass comes in like at 1 minute, and it feels, for me, it feels too late. Let's see if I can say something about the bass line as well here that makes sense. You're kind of fading the bass into it here, and I'm not sure if that makes a lot of sense. So I saw some comments about the bass line, and the bass line is part of like the rhythmic elements. And you have, okay, so this might not be a problem, but there's something you can consider, Joel. So you have the stabs, dun 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 dun, and you have the drum, boom boom boom, and then the bass comes. And the bass, see if we can catch this, guys. The bass comes, dum 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 dum, and it's just the same. It's very much the same rhythmic bump on the number one here on the first bump bump. So I would see if you can shift that up. Maybe put it how do you say, on the third? Is that the way you say it in steps? Boom 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 boom. So it's like boom bam boom bam, something to not have it hit whenever the riff is hitting, because it's so much emphasis on the first, like dun 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 dun, and it gets kind of repetitive. So that's something you can change up. So you can keep the bassline melody, but trying to change up the rhythm of the bassline to make it more, you know, drive a little bit more. So Christian says, add some syncopation. I'm getting a stroke here, guys. Syncopation to the bass. Yeah, exactly. Little runs and pitch bend downs. Exactly. So something like that would be very cool as well. Just to kind of build on it, definitely. Yeah, something like that. And I'm not saying that you can't introduce a bass very late, but you have to have an... I think it's all about how it gels with the track, if it makes sense, you know. I can only speak from my personal experience and my taste, and to me it makes... It's not... I mean, you could end, you like bring in the bass later, if it fits like if it has a purpose, if you feel like, okay, it's you know, when you do it, when you bring in the bass, it's suddenly, you know, it boom, it kind of just kicks the track off in a super nice way. But if I'm not feeling that, I often advise like drums, bass, and then add the melodic elements. Or rather, start with melodic elements and add bass and drums at some point, you know, together, to gel it out together. So Joel, hope you understand. You know, of course, I enjoyed parts of the track a lot. I really dug the breakdown, the kind of here. Let's see here if I can show it. This kind of part here with the strings. But you have the same problem with the bass here. That everything is so much on the first hit. I'm not sure if that's the way to say it, but it's, you need to change that up a bit. So you could have like dum 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 da da dum dum da da dum 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 da da dum dum bum 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 bum. Something to you know, keep us, yeah, going. That's kind of, I hope it translates what I'm trying to say here. It's kind of hard, but yeah, yeah. And maybe, like somebody wrote in the chat, maybe look at the melodic elements. See if you can add something melodic. Like go back and listen to George's track with his electric piano. I think you could get some cool ideas from that. Just adding some kind of harmony on top. He uses an electric piano in his track. Just adding some kind of harmony on top of your song here, Joel. Like dun 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 da da dum da 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 dum 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 da dum dum da dum da dum dum da dum 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 da da dum 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 da da dum na 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 dum dum da dum da 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 dum dum. Yeah, you get the kind of idea what I'm going for here. Yeah, so Joel, thank you so much for submitting, and thank you for letting me go on a little bit of a tangent here and talk about, you know, what I would look at. So JT, can I get you singing over it? you could easily, you know, definitely add vocals on top of this. Would be really cool. But you know, just there's so many ways you could add, like because you have a kind of a nice harmony, a nice chord progression. So there's many ways to add something on top of it. Definitely. So guys, I hope you're enjoying this little live stream. We'll be going for like a half an hour more or something. What was in the coffee? Lazy Pixel, good seeing you, mate. Good seeing you. Lazy Pixel, we played your track, like one of the first tracks. I really dug it, if you wasn't here by then. But it was really cool. So hand clap needed, as Bo shows. Hand clap needed. Yeah, exactly, Retro. We need hand claps on this track, would be very nice as well. Christopher Siege says, try making a whole new bass just to see what happens. Sometimes often scraping things are the hardest but needed. Yeah, exactly. You could just try and see what happens if you try a totally different bass line and just see, you know, where you can go with it. Definitely. So, is there anything, yeah, Lacey, I basically, I just said that I really enjoyed your track. I had some points about the drums, but just the mixing part, but I really enjoyed the track. We started off with it because I thought it was a really good track, so, and people seem to enjoy it a lot. Oh, Joel, I totally understand. Being sparse with sharing stuff is really something I advocate. In general, I don't think people should just put work in progress out there and listen to whoever. And I did feel, Joel, that you thought I might have something of value to say. So I hope you could take something away from this. and build upon your song, because I think it has potential. You just need to, you know, keep at it, sculpting out the things that make the song interesting, sculpt out the finer details, the rhythms and so on. Okay, Mason, good seeing you. Live sound development, good seeing you here as well. So let's move on. So let's see here. So let's listen here to John Chester's track. John Chester has been a long time viewer. Don't think he is a patron, but he's been a long-term viewer. So let's listen to it here as well. Let's see here. So this is John Chester's track, Commission. And so John, I had a couple of things to say. So firstly, I really like the ideas that you have in this track, and I use this idea, I use this way of describing it when I talk about a song that has, let me see if I can just, let me start over. Basically, I call this the category, a specific category of songs where you have many great ideas, but you need a structure. You need to structure it more, because you're moving between different themes, and it doesn't really make a coherent totality. So you're moving between this very chill, like electric piano stuff, and then you have the da da da, and it doesn't really. It's not necessarily. It's almost like two tracks for me. So I felt like two good ideas meshed together in one song. Now, secondly, John, and this kind of dragged the track down, and I think Predrag said it here in the chat. Is it just me, or is the bass off key? And yes, there's something off with the tuning of several of the instruments. So if we listen again, and I'm not really super big on tuning, so maybe I can't translate this very well vocally, but if we listen here, you should be able to pick out, guys, the way that kind of da 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 and the bass, they aren't in tune, and that kind of makes me as a listener, kind of, it throws me a little bit back, like, ooh, it's kind of, and that's something you really have to check and try and find the right fit. Now, it's definitely something that you learn by making music. You learn it as you go. When I started making music, my friend who played bass, I think, he told me, like, you have to let the bass follow the melody. You can't just have the bass going in like A and the melody is all over the place. You know, it's and I remember like disputing this when I was like 13 or something. So it's, you know, definitely something that is very easy to miss, and it's also something that can be hard when you have different virtual instruments and so on, and you need to tune them maybe by ear to make them fit together sometimes, or it's just a matter of finding the right bass line. DJ Free, good seeing you. Hope to see you on another stream as well. I think it's something you really need to work on, because it's something that kind of drags down the track. So the structure of the track, finding like the themes that you want, and not having too big shifts from one theme to another, and then working on the tuning of the track. And also something that I noticed right away is that you have this little slight panning on the dun, 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 dun. It's like slightly panned in a way that also made me, I could even hear it on my like on my laptop, the slight panning, and it didn't really make sense in the sound image, because it's such a main sound that you want it kind of stereo, or at least in the middle of the mix. So that was kind of my second point. Definitely. So that was kind of my points on your track, John. But I really dug like the ideas in it. Just that some stuff was a little bit too off for me personally. So it's just something that I think you should work on, the tuning and the structure. But really cool ideas. I love this little mid part here. I really dug this. And here the bass kind of fits better. It's mainly when the pads come in that we have a problem with the tuning. So that was kind of my points for this one as well. Retro Drum says just put swing and it'll be good. Yeah, maybe some swing as well on the drums, maybe mix it up a bit. So let's see here. Mason says, I don't have Facebook, but I would still like to submit something. So you can submit on Facebook, you can submit on Twitter, you can submit on the Patreon forum, or on Patreon if you're a patron as well. That's the 3 ways I'm using at the moment. So let me see now, where are we? Let's see here. Yeah, Stanislav sent something as well. He submitted this pretty early, so let's have a little listen here at Stanislav's track. This was really good, by the way, this track. So this was a little kind of live jam here with Ion Freak, and I can post the link again here if you want to go and check it out later. So what was my kind of points when it came to this track? I really dug it. I thought it was a really nice jam, really super, you know, super nice feel to it. I wrote down a couple of things when I listened to it. So great vibe, lovely synths. The drums are clipping or cutting through kind of the mix in a way, like they're kind of harsh in the mix in some way. Maybe they're clipping, or maybe it's just that you have too much like high frequency content in the kick. I would have loved that, like a more softer, subtle kick with more depth to it, but it's more like this. It's a pretty shallow kick, I guess you could say, and that was just something that kind of, yeah, I reacted to when you listen, especially when I listen on different systems. It became very evident, like on computer speakers and phone speakers. I often like A/B listen with those because it's interesting to hear how it transitions and it translates. But how it translates. And yeah, the kick kind of didn't translate very well to different systems, but that's definitely something that I thought about. And then also I thought it was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he was like playing the what's called the monotron synth. I think it's some kind of monotron synth for the lead. And there were some sour notes like in the beginning of your lead. Now it's not a big problem for these kind of jamming videos. I mean, they're kind of something you publish to show people more, like give them a feel for a live feel for your music. But I would you know, go back and look at that if you're thinking about publishing this in some other way as well. Definitely. Rico, good seeing you as well. I'm streaming for, maybe half an hour more or something. JT, I saw you here as well, so good seeing you as well. And let's see here. And Studio Geek says that I assume you mean the drums, and Studio Geek, that you didn't really dig them. So the drums was kind of the problem. If there was any mixing problem, I thought it was the drums, but the tune, really cool, good work, definitely. So we have a track here. So who are here, by the way? Who has submitted and who is here actually to have their tracks being played? Just hold up a hand and write the name you actually use to submit stuff. Definitely. Good to know who's here. Let's see here. Kreshad, did you send something on Facebook or what? Yeah, and Discophone. Yeah, I agree, Discophone. I thought about that when we were listening to this track. I thought like it would have been so cool, like boom, 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 some kind of drum and bass type sound on that. Yeah. Let's see here. Chris had sent something. Let me just check the thread, guys. Let me check the thread, and we can just listen to it. Let's see here. Kresh, who are you over on Facebook? Or is it the same? Is it the same name? Let's see here. Got some. Yeah, I can see you, Christopher, as well. Let's see here. I'm just going to pull up some stuff here as well. Steve. Yeah, Steve. Okay, let's see. Steve. Where's Steve? Steve. Come to me, Steve. There we are. Stevie. Let's listen to Stevie's track. Been here, being supportive, so let's listen to it. thought this was really cool, Kreshad. Good work. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice indeed. I really dug it. I really dug, like, the vocals kind of. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is like catching the listener. So if we listen to the beginning, I thought this was really clever. The way you introduced stuff in this track. So we have kind of the synths here just coming in, kind of middle of the road stuff. It's you know, but then we go, and he removes the synths. I really dug that. And I saw a comment here that maybe sometime you could kind of break away from the bass, you kind of take away the bass or something. I would also have loved to see like maybe even like a breakdown where you mute the drums and the bass line just to focus more on the vocals. You could even, I mean, what if you've done that in the start? You put even more emphasis on it. That's really interesting. Just bringing forth the vocals. Definitely. Super cool. I thought this was really good, Kreshad. Can't play whole tracks now because, of course, you know, we have a lot of submissions. So let's move on to Christopher Siege. Siege track. So let's see here. This is called Gates of Mantis. So let's see what's up with this. this was really interesting. This was really cool. So this was Christopher in the chat. Really interesting. Very nice. A very nice build-up. Let's see if it goes somewhere. Let's see if it goes somewhere here. I'm just going to skip a bit, see where we end up. Okay, so it's kind of more of the same all the way. So I would definitely have loved to see even more development here. It feels kind of like you could have perhaps added some even more elements further down the line in the 6-minute and 20-second track. But I really dug the build-up. At first I was like, you said you were kind of new or something, new into music maybe, or you just new submitting. But so when I hear an intro like that, I'm like, okay, so this is promising something. This intro promises something. This is kind of a build-up. It's something, you know, it's clear that this could take you somewhere, and now it's just a question of, does it take you somewhere? Does it deliver? And I really dug the transition here. Like here. Like this transition was really cool. But it lacks bass. It's kind of sterile in the low end. It's kind of you need more. You need a deeper bass. Maybe use a kick with more bottom end beneath it, something boom boom to kind of give it this drive. Like 808 maybe, something like that could work. And bass, more heavy bass, definitely. Something to get us pumping, because I don't really feel it in my body in the mix, and this track will need that kind of low end energy, the bass energy to get people, you know, into it. Definitely. 620. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Yeah. I get what you're doing here. This is cool. This is really cool. I probably wouldn't hold off too long. Do you introduce it? Yeah. It comes in here. This is really cool. But maybe 5 minutes is slightly too long. Maybe it's a theme you should... Okay, here's a creative idea. Maybe this lead, very cool sounds really badass to my ears. Maybe it's something you should introduce to the listener prior. Maybe. Just throwing it out there. But yeah. So I see some comments here as well. Yeah, but I really dug it. I thought this track was really cool. I really enjoyed the kind of lo-fi retro sounds in the middle. Definitely. Definitely. So I think it's not so much the structure of the track. Yeah, exactly. In a dance setting, it would work. Yeah, probably, Clonehead. Probably. If you had more bass to it, definitely. Yeah, we need more bottom end. Yeah, definitely. I think even here in the beginning, it's kind of lacking in the lower end. But yeah, I imagine it could work really well for like a club setting. Definitely. So Alex, are you here? Alex Nova. Alex submitted his track Factory. So let's take a listen to this. And like Tony says, you need to hit the like button, guys. The more likes, the longer I will go on. The more likes, the longer I will go on. And by the way, if you are enjoying the kind of content I do on YouTube in general, and you want to support me making videos, me spending all this time, it's not really about, you know, getting the gear or something. because I do have sponsorships with some companies and I do get review gear and so on. So that's not about it. It's more about having the time, because it does take a lot of time to make the videos and live streams. So if you want to support, you can always go to patreon.com/bowbeats and become a monthly patron. And you can also always donate via PayPal as well if you want that. I got a nice donation earlier from, I think it was Dead Pixel. I'm Lazy Pixel, Dead Pixel, kind of tired at the moment, but thank you so much for that as well. That's very helpful because it does let me devote the time. That's it, basically it. I still have a bunch of stuff that I want to review and do videos on, and it's coming up. So you can always check the link to the Patreon, and you also get access to the Patreon forum, simplisynth.com. Don't forget the www, because at the moment you need that. So that's something you can do if you want to. So let's listen to Alex's track. No, I didn't like this at all. Not good. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I thought, damn, I really like this, Alex. This was right up my alley. This was really nice. Yeah, really digging it. Really digging it. Excellent work. Just the way you... I mean, it's very... You know, the melodic elements are very... How you say, kind of... You know, subtle. It's not that melodic driven, but the drums are really cool. And it's like you say here in the description of the track, you say like a colorful clash of electronic and indie served on a lo-fi platter. And I think you deliver that. I think you get what you expect from this track, and it's in an unexpected way, if that makes sense. I really dug it. Very good, very nice. I mean, it's got a vibrant bass, very nice style. Really dug the kind of, and you get me kind of hooked with the drums, because the drums have this unique character to them. And I saw you writing here that you let's see here, that you collected a few weird sounds and tried to do some percussion. And yeah, I think it works. I think it works. And I think Clonehead has a point, you know, you could mix in some samples, something that is broadening the sound, but at the same time, I think this is the type of track that I would say it just fits very nicely in a you know, in the genre of electronica. It's kind of indie in a sense, and it has the lo-fi sound, and I'm not sure if you really need to. I think it's its own thing. I think it works as it is, definitely. I think that maybe if you incorporated more organic sounds or something kind of that breaks away from this electronica sound, maybe it's a little bit easier for some people to enjoy it. But I don't really think you're kind of aiming for like yeah, I think you're aiming for something quite indie in a sense, and I think it works definitely. Definitely. So let's see here. Yeah, no problem, Alex. No problem. I really dug it. I really dug it. Just I don't really have anything like maybe, you know, maybe you can always, on this type of tracks, you can always kind of work more with the melodic side of things. I think it's easy to kind of rely on the more electronic and beat driven approach, and maybe sometimes it's good to kind of take a step back and ask yourself, like, and you know, hum a melody, see if you can fit something to it a bit. Like here in the breakdown, for example, you have more like these long notes. You know, you could easily, Alex, fit some more variation in that. So that's something, but I'm not sure you need. I mean, it's all about what you're aiming for in the end. I think this track holds up on its own. I think that's how I view it. Like, does that track hold up on its own? But small sprinkling, small melodic notes just could emphasize what you're already trying to do. That's kind of my takeaway, I think. Yeah, vocals, like Clonehead says, would be very cool as well. And Mason says break is too long. Yeah, so maybe break could be changed up a little bit as well, definitely. But I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see here. Clonehead, you had something. You tried to send me a SoundCloud link. Don't send me SoundCloud links in the chat. You know, it's a little bit annoying to keep track of. But let's have a listen. Let's see if I can manage to find this. So this is Clonehead, Time for a Break. So we're listening to Clon had time for a break, and he did deliver on the break part. I mean, damn, this was really good, Clonhead. Really, really nice. Well structured, with a lot of variation to the sound. Maybe because I'm listening in these at the moment. I haven't heard this before on my bigger system. Maybe, I'm just saying maybe, a little heavy on the bass side sometimes. Maybe, I'm not sure. Just that main. I need to listen in a better system to kind of give an opinion on that. But definitely something. Definitely something really cool. So Mason, you were saying that social media is kind of problematic because of people that don't use social media. So Mason, what you can do, Mason, is that you can either join Patreon and join the forum. You can submit stuff on the forum if you're a patron. Basically, that's $12 a year. It would be if you continue to support me over on Patreon. And that way you get access to a full forum. So we have a full forum not tied to Facebook. So that's one way to submit stuff if you don't want to use Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. And why I'm not using like an email, because I don't want to have multiple emails. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to use like the stuff I actually use on a regular basis. And so that's why I'm using Facebook and Patreon, because of course that's where I'm at. And also for me, it's important not to spread myself across multiple platforms, multiple emails and whatnot, because it does become a little bit of a headache keeping track of everything that's going on whenever I publish something. So when I publish on Facebook for a new review stream, it's really nice to have the posts over there, so it's easier for me to just find them. That's what, definitely. And Matthew is an admin over on, or a mod over on the forum as well, and he posts daily news coverage as well on the forum, so that's very cool as well. So Cloned, this was really badass. I really definitely something I enjoyed, definitely. So let's see here. Adam Jamie, you seems to yeah, Mason, it's just you can, I don't want to pressure anybody to supporting or whatever, but I guess it's a good way for me to create a platform where it's easier for me to interact. So that's why I use Patreon, and we have a Patreon forum. So basically you sign up for Patreon and then you get instant access with the same account to the forum. So you basically log in using the Patreon login. And it's a discourse server. I can show you guys how it seems. This is how it looks. This is the forum, the simplesynth.com forum. And we, of course, we have a multiple different categories here with 2 large file sizes on the images here, I noted, but yeah. And you can self-promote if you want to. We're a couple of dudes over there at the moment, so it's just a good way to reach out if you want to connect with me. And I try to make like a music review stream post where people post their work in progress. So that's very good. And it costs $1 a month to become a member. And if that seems strange, it's just because firstly, the forum is not free. It's not free for me to host. And secondly, it's also it's also that I don't want to create like an open forum, because that would take so much energy to maintain and handle, that I don't have that time and energy to have like an open forum. I'm already an admin on a big Facebook group, and it takes away from so much of my creative work. Thank you so much, Mason. So yeah, you can support me with more than 12 if you want to, if you think that's, you know, something you want to. At the $5 a month, you get access to all the live stream VODs. Got some video content that I release only on Patreon as well, and so on. And if you go for €10 a month, you have the access to the circuit patches, the Minilog patches, and some other stuff you can read on the Patreon. The link is in the description. So I'm just going to look somebody up here, somebody that wanted. Let's see here. Oh, nice, Cloned, nice. The Mackies are very nice, definitely. Let's see here, Adam, Jamie. So Cloned, maybe I'm wrong about the bass being too strong on your track, but it's just something I noted, and I would check it, and if I could check it at the moment, I would, but I don't have the system on in the back. Let's see here. Adam, Jamie, you wanted me to check your stuff. Let's see here. Adam, where are you at? And Rico, are you still here, Rico? I thought about looking at your track as well. So if you're here, Rico, just give a shout out in the chats. I know you're here. Adam, Jamie, got some stuff here. Adam, Jamie, let's see here. Let's listen to Adam, Jamie's track here as well. Let's see here. So this is Adam. This should be your track, right? Yes. So let's listen to it. Robland Imperfect. this was really interesting. This was Robland with Imperfect, and you wrote in your description here, full of mistakes, but so is life, so I'm not fixing them. Relax and sweet dreams. Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. Let's see. Oh, did something happen here? Did my cam get stuck? Let's see if I switch it back. Let's see here. Did I drop anything in the frames? Is my cam stuck, guys? Or let's see here. Yeah, my cam looks kind of stuck. But the chat is the chat moving? Okay, so yeah, you froze. Whoa! Froze the video. Let's see here. Let's see if I can manage to fix that. No. Yep, I'm stuck. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if I can unplug it. Let's see. I'll probably break something. Let's replug it here. Lol. This was funny. This was funny. In a cool pose. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hello. My name is Bo. What's up? The music. The music. the imperfect song destroyed. He played an imperfect song with timing issues, and it destroyed his webcam. This is the face. This is the face of a man who's listened to much imperfect music. Dun, 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 dun. Not sure where it's going on. Let's see if I can. That was kind of funny. Let's see. This is what Coffee with Bo looks like. Okay. Too much flow. Let's see here. Let's see if I can. Is this the USB? Let me just see if I can. If I switch it to another USB, let's see if that works. No. Let's see if I can. What happens if I add it again? I can probably fix this. Good that the mic works this time. It's very funny. It's kind of funny. It looks kind of. It almost looks like the webcam. Maybe the webcam died. Maybe it died. It just broke. I can't reboot my dude. And we're soon closing down shop as well. So let's see. Let's see if I can add it. How do you say? Let's see, a video unit. Let's just see here if I can. Okay, it's back up. Hello, I'm back. What's up, dudes? What's up, peeps? Not sure what's going on here. And why is it so strangely framed? Hello. There it goes. So that was really cool. We listened to a cool track. By, let's see here, by Robland, Imperfect. Really chill stuff. Maybe only thing I thought about when I listened to it was like the delay and echo on the reverb, on the snare, kind of the reverb. And so yeah. So maybe that's something maybe you could tone down a little bit. Super reverb heavy, very like reverby the whole track. But I really enjoyed the vibe, the style. Totally something that I could listen to. Very funny that everything just broke when we listened to Imperfect. That's funny. So I promised Rico will play Rico's track as well here. Let's listen to Rico's track. Nice. Nice. This was a good kind of good ending to the stream, I think. This is I won't link it. It's a private track that Rico made, so I think I don't link private tracks. Sorry, Retro. Sorry for breaking the mood. This was really nice, Rico. This was really nice. I enjoyed it a lot. There was just something very moving with the vibe, definitely. Definitely. Kisses. Yeah. There's the snare or click. If you push the volume, I think that might be a little bit too how do you say, have too much of a resonant peak, or maybe that'll stand out a little bit too much in the mix. Maybe something you can tone down a little bit, but I really enjoyed it, Rico. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. Very sad song. So guys, the stream is kind of coming to an end, and if you wonder what's going on with the cam, I was just messing with it while I was listening. So I hope to do another review stream soon, guys. While the camera is working. Yeah, exactly. I do have to end because today is actually kind of a holiday in Sweden. It's the first Advent, like the first Sunday in December. So we have the Advents like I think it's every Sunday, right? No, is it? Yeah, every Sunday, every weekend Sunday is called Advent in Sweden. I'm not sure if that's the case in other countries as well. I don't really know. I'm an ignorant Swede. But so me and the family, we are going out and we are going to have some coffee and eat something and just walk the city and look at all the all the Christmas decorations that the stores are putting up as well. So that's something very nice as well. Definitely. So yeah, that's pretty much what's up today. So what's coming up later? Let's see here. Okay, so Rico, is it okay if I plug your SoundCloud? Okay, let me let's see here. Let's see. I'll plug your SoundCloud. So this is Rico's SoundCloud, the last track we played. Go ahead and follow. I'll follow back as well. So what's coming up on the channel? I'm hoping to do... Let me switch to camera. I'm hoping to do something with this setup here. I want to do like a major DAW-less setup. This is the Analog Rytm Mark II, the Analog 4 Mark II, the Digitakt. I want to do something with that as well. Definitely, that's something I want to do. I think I will be covering sampling on the Analog Rytm some more as well, just because it's fun and it's kind of something people wanted to see as well. So that's coming up later on the channel as well. Definitely. Well, Svera, the Analog Rytm and analog keys, they are synths, both of them. But yeah, I'm thinking I should use the analog keys. Oh yeah, the 4 is over there, but analog keys as well. Definitely. Definitely. So that's what's coming up on the channel as well. I'm working on a new studio episode. I'm going to talk about, I think, about cable management. I got some cool stuff sent to me from Saur, the guys that made the isoplanes and my desk. They sent me these. So these are cable management racks. And I actually filmed when I put these up, and I filmed when I did some other cable management stuff. And basically, I guess I'll do like an episode of the studio series where I talk about organization, because that's not really something I'm good with. So for me, it's like a topic that I think is interesting as well. And I'm also working on a little vlog type video from Stockholm where I met up with Jacob Hack from Hackattack. That's coming up as well on the channel. later. I think this week it should be done. It's not just a vlog. It'll be with, I think I'll talk a little bit also about a new music release that I'm going to do. So I'm going to release a new track. I hope to put that in the video as well, just to make it interesting for you guys. And of course, there's a lot of nice gear shots from the music store I visited as well. So stay tuned for that video. What else is coming? I need to review the Micro Granny 2. I'll also do a couple of Christmas theme and New Year's theme videos as well. So that's coming up on the channel as well further down the line. Just need to find the time to record them. But I do want to make some Christmas themed stuff as well. It'll probably be like gift guides, like good gifts, stuff to ask. Like for example, let me show you guys. Let me just go over here and let's pull it up. For example, this is a perfect gift to ask for somebody to buy to you or to buy to somebody else. This is the Secret of Dance Music Production. This is an excellent book. Excellent book. And you know, there's a ton of cool stuff that you could ask for people. For sure. So yeah. And yeah, Base Station 2. I need to do something on the, why did I put these on? It's like comes automatically. I need to do something on Base Station 2 as well. Oh, and I also the book seemed to be out of order, seemed to be out of stock at some I ordered it from one place in Sweden. They didn't have it, so I'm not sure. What else is coming up? Yeah, oh guys, we're having a live interview this Wednesday. I'm going to interview Look Mum No Computer, Sam, I think. Sam Battle, or I think his name is. Anyway, that is coming up on Wednesday, I think, as well. So that's cool and all. I mean, I haven't talked to him before, but he seems like a really cool guy. So I hope, we set it up, I think, for Wednesday, I think 1 o'clock CET. And so basically the time this live stream started. And that will be, of course, on my channel. I'll publish it later this week as well. So that's coming up as well. Yeah, and guys, I just want to say thank you as well. Awesome music today, great submissions. I want to do more review streams, of course. I'm trying to fit in as many as I can. It's a little harder when we're approaching Christmas because, of course, Christmas means more family stuff as well. So it's 1 o'clock. The interview is 1 o'clock this Wednesday live. So it's a live interview. If you have questions that you want me to ask him, especially if you're a patron, don't hesitate to post them on the forum or send them to me or whatever. So that's what up. And if you want to support the work I do here, I do want to plug the simplysynth.com forum. That's a Patreon forum. So basically what you do is you become a patron over on patreon.com/bowbeats. And when you do, you can also log into the simplysynth.com forum. So that's something we're running. We're 71 patrons strong at the moment. It would be so cool to hit 100 before the year ends. And I'm just going to post a link here. So you become a patron. You can start with $1 per month. So basically $12 a year to gain access to the Patreon, to the forum. And that, of course, puts you higher up on the list, so to speak, for the music review streams. And you can also ask me for feedback on the forum itself. So that's something I really want to push, because it's a great way for me to kind of get in touch with you all and to, you know, basically, and also ask for some feedback of my own, you know, regarding what kind of videos we want to see and whatnot. So feel free to join that as well. Yeah. Yeah, so it would be cool to hit 100, definitely. Well, you know, I like to wind it down, Matt. I like to wind the streams down a bit, you know, just hanging out a little bit. Because, of course, listening to stuff, you know, I need to be a little bit more focused. So I like to wind them down a little bit in the end. So it's always nice. So yeah, this stream will be posted to Facebook. So if you're not already subscribed over on Facebook, I'll post a link over there. So you can see, go and watch it after the fact. I'll probably not post it to everyone on YouTube, because I don't really do that with all the live streams. So that's what's up as well. Yeah, and thank you so much, Matt, as well, for all the help as well. Lacey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody. So I'm going to close down shop. Studio Geek, George, Live Improvisational, Tony, Subhuman, Christopher, JT, everybody, Fairwine, Lost Jeff, Michael Smith, good seeing as well. Crashhead, always good having you. Thank you so much for all the input. And yeah, Predrag and you all, user-friendly music. Probably missed a bunch of you guys as well, but yeah, you know that I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around, and talk to you all later. And hopefully the webcam didn't break, but at least I haven't spilled any coffee on my Matrix boot. It's that's the dust whip, if you're wondering. So talk to you guys later. Peace out.